Check it out now. Now he bout to. No, she bout to. Now y'all bout to. Ha, ha, ha. Come clean, yeah.
All right, what up, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome to Come Clean.
Ooh.
Yay.
That's exciting.
So exciting.
We're very excited to be here. Hello, my name is Stephanie Matsuba. This is my friend Trina Dong.
What up?
And we kind of had a fangirl moment. We
Yeah.
brought on someone that we are both a fan of from an amazing a cappella group. I'll let Trina introduce him, but just know he's also going live from Instagram.
Oh, yeah. I have
Oh, are you
I'm
right
live
now?
from Instagram.
Oh,
Mhm.
my gosh.
Here we are.
Guys, Trace Gaynor's here. Hi. From the Filharmonic.
Hi. Thanks for having me. This is so cool. This is awesome. I've been listening to a ton of podcasts and like trying to get into it and like make my own podcast or something. So like this is great. This
You would
is
have
so
a fabulous podcast.
Oh, thank you.
You could have a podcast about a trillion different things. I feel like even talking to you for 10 minutes, I just went through an entire world of options.
Thank you. Thank you. No, but this is awesome. Thanks for having me. This is really cool.
We're very
Absolutely.
excited.
So you guys are traveling around right now.
Yeah. So I'm in this a cappella group called the Philharmonic.
No big deal, you guys.
We're all Filipino. That's our thing. But yeah, we've been doing shows here and there, doing like 5 or 6 shows a month. We're starting to work on original music, which is unheard of for a cappella groups.
Oh.
And now by original music, you mean you guys are gonna
We're gonna like write
make
it.
your
Like it's not like music that like other people sang. I was like, oh, this would be really cool without voices. It'll be like music that like started with all voices. Oh my god.
So you're not gonna like drop on Bruno Mars. You're gonna like make.
I mean, Bruno Mars is great. We'll probably still do.
I'm wearing a Bruno Mars.
there.
I
Oh,
wore
yeah.
a Bruno Mars t-shirt,
Just
and
for
I
you.
was not trying to be creepy, but
No, it's great. People say I look like Bruno Mars all
you
the time.
do look a lot
Why?
like Bruno.
Oh my
Why
god,
do
I
they
wonder why.
say
That's so weird. I
He
don't know.
looks like Bruno Mars.
Your
You do look like
coiffed
Bruno
hair,
Mars.
perhaps?
Maybe.
Is that why?
And I try to dress like Bruno Mars and look like Bruno Mars every day. It's fine.
Do
When
you?
I get my haircut, I pull up a picture of Bruno Mars and say I want.
Do you
this.
really?
No, 100%.
Because
The same picture every
Yes.
time.
it's a great look for
Yeah.
you. That's why. He's my. I have a crush on. Trina's always like, "What's your celebrity crush?" I'm like, Bruno
I do
Mars.
ask that all the time. And she's like, I don't know. I never know. And now we know.
Now we know. This guy.
His shirt is up.
It's funny.
We're
Okay, so
looking
creating
forward
your own
to
music.
Yes.
New music.
New music. Yeah. I mean, it's a process. It's not easy. Because like acapella groups, like Pentatonics has obviously done the original music and it's great, but like we have to come up with something that like would work for like the acapella fans that we've made, but like
Yeah.
do something new. And like we got the Filipino thing, we've got the like 5 boys in a boy band thing. So
For
like trying to
sure.
find that like sound is a.
Do the girls like fangirl you like One Direction style like flood out?
I mean, we're no One Direction, but it's like it's definitely
Okay, let's
it's
not
new.
say
The
not
same-
One Direction.
It's a new like it's not what I expected from an acapella group.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
Well,
it's-
because the fans that I know are grown ass women, like hot ones. So
yeah, it's flattering. It's nice. It's fun.
just say.
All right, well, we'll link to all of your things.
Yes.
Make sure everybody checks out the Philharmonic. My favorite things, the James Corden bits.
Yeah,
The best.
the riff.
Are your guys's what's your favorite way to share your stuff?
YouTube. We have a lot
YouTube.
of stuff on
Okay,
YouTube,
cool.
but like Spotify, I think is gonna be big for us next year.
Oh, yeah?
A lot of Spotify music.
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm
Some
looking
of us
at.
don't have Spotify. Some of us.
No,
You'll
we
forget
have
Spotify
Spotify. I'm
soon.
pretty sure we share an account. It's like $12.99. I
No,
have
that's
it.
SoundCloud.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, she's very into the subscriptions that we have. Oh, fine. I'll get Spotify.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
That's fine.
Just for you.
Just for
you.
you,
Thank
only.
you.
You'll be paying for it. I'll bill you.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Just so you can hear our music. I'll just send you a CD. It's
Oh,
fine.
yeah, a CD.
Oh my God,
Where am
old
I supposed to
school.
play that?
Don't have that anymore.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Cute,
Oh my
cute, cute.
God.
Well, let's get into
The
it.
Okay,
let's get
into it.
The fizzle. Fizzle.
So I guess actually for anyone that's never seen our show.
And Instagram Live.
No, let's just assume
And
they've
Instagram
Let's
Live.
assume they've seen it.
Okay, great.
The Fizz. We're gonna introduce some articles from international this week, international, but most of the time just some weird shit. Sorry if there's any young viewers.
Nope,
I
none.
don't even say bad words. I don't know where that came
okay.
from. Yeah, so Trina will tell one and like kind of give you a little background, and then
Yeah.
we just talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, so there are 2 universities in Korea
Okay.
that have a class where they make you date.
It's a dating class.
It's a dating class, okay?
So it's like you're in college, but you're also dating and getting like an A, B, or C, D
Can you imagine failing
Fucking out.
dating?
Well, here's the thing.
You can flunk.
Okay,
Oh.
so basically, you have to date 3 of your classmates for 1 month.
Wow, that's a
Okay.
commitment.
Yeah,
that's
so
a project.
Yeah, like you can't even date one. Let's be honest. Dating one person for 1 month is a trying thing.
The reason they're doing it is because they want to encourage you to date
I get
actually
that.
instead of just doing the ghosting thing, doing the
Oh.
2 weeks here, 2 weeks there.
Doing the hookup thing, the bang thing, the.
Well, do you like get to pick your
sorry.
Bang
project?
thing.
Sorry.
Do you pick
no, I
your
meant to.
project? You're like pick
No,
your
that's
projects.
dope.
Do
You pick your project. Wow,
you
now we're a project.
You say who you can say who you want. It's kind of like, a top 3 thing, and then you'll get mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then they see like how it goes, and they said it's basically to learn how to hold relationships and also to handle breakups.
Wow. I mean, the breakup thing that like the project's gonna go like really well if you're gonna go through like the breakup
Yes.
process. But
Yes.
that's crazy.
I feel like if I was in school, I would have enrolled in that. Would you have? No.
I
think
don't
so.
think so.
I don't think I
Why?
would.
I just
sounds
don't
fun.
want to.
So, yeah, like what if you get partnered like for a month? You have to date someone but like it's like the beginning of a relationship. I guess not like
You could get partnered with the person you're meant to be with for your whole life.
that's a risk though.
That life's a risk. Okay, walking in this room was a much bigger
This
risk
was
than
a
that.
big, yeah.
okay?
Good luck to you. This is the biggest risk you'll
Sitting
ever
next to
have.
2 fangirls.
I just don't think I would. I think that it's too much.
Well, someone asked me, they were like, "Does that have to do with the baby rate?" I'm like, I don't think it has to do with the baby rate. I
baby
think
rate?
they were just saying because there's like not as many births in Korea in the past 5 years, so they were saying, oh, maybe it's encouraging long-term relationships. I said, I think it's just a class about
Yeah,
dating.
if like class was like the way they went around it, I think there's like there's a better way to fix that problem.
If that was
Not
what this is
like,
about.
we go to universities and teach them to date each other.
Here's what we're gonna do.
Not
I
my
have a
first
great
suggestion.
idea.
There's a class. Put it in the colleges.
I do think that some people do need
Yes.
it.
Mhm.
I'm not only talking about
There's a lot of people that
are
need
bad
it.
at dating, people that are perhaps bad at
Life?
socializing,
Yeah.
Wow, this is so.
This is getting,
Speaking?
this is
Yeah,
getting,
it's getting
just going in.
talking to one another.
Yeah.
And, like people that don't know how to do that, if they're forced to do it, like it's an A or an F, guys.
Well,
true.
I think the last thing I was thinking about, I'm like, where do they go? Are they allowed to drink? Is it, if they have sex, is there a rule about that? Is it, because what happens say if you and Trace get matched together, you're dating in college for the month, you want to continue the relationship, you can't. It's the class is up.
Yeah, like what if like you have to do
You have to
your
get on the
second
next
month?
one. You
yeah.
have to get on to
like sorry,
Date number 2.
chapter 3 is
no,
all about breakups.
I think it's all at once.
What?
What? I don't think
Like,
so.
oh.
I I think it's like you date
You
one
date 3
person
people at
for
once?
a month.
That's
I mean,
a,
that's
how
what's
the
this
Bachelor-
class
That's how I read
teaching?
it. That's how I read it. I could be wrong. That's how
What
I
kind
read
of
it.
class is this?
That was maybe my hope. I was like, oh, to make it more terrible, be like, no. But now if it's just one every 3 months, I guess. But you're right. Like if you like fall in love somehow with the first month person and
Drop
then
the
they wait,
class.
but then what if they fall in love with the second month person and then you're still in love with the first month person?
That's
and then
life.
it's
Ain't no
toast,
teacher
you're
gonna be able to
over.
tell you how to handle
yeah,
this.
no. Oh yeah, do you have meetings
That's
with
the
the
other
teacher?
thing.
Yeah.
The professor's
Professor?
probably like, nah, like just doesn't.
Like what teacher was like, yes, I am qualified to teach you about dating.
It's like Dr. Drew teaches your class. Dr. Drew moved to Korea.
Or Dr. Dre. It's like, yo,
Okay, so you would.
I would. I vote yes. You vote no.
Absolutely.
Trace
no.
votes. I
No.
think you're maybe.
No, I'm a pretty hard
Hard
no.
no?
Because like I don't want
Damn,
the
okay.
class like no offense, but like the people that are taking this class too, that's like
Try to not be offended. Good luck.
like the people that sounds like, you know what, yeah, this is a thing that I need to learn how to do. It's like, well, I'm not.
You got it. You have swag.
No,
dude.
no,
You
that's
just
not-
say it.
no,
You're cool. You hot. You got it. You don't need to be in no dating
I
vibe.
need to be I don't know, be dating someone that's like, yeah, it's time for me to learn how to date.
That's
Like,
what I'm
not-
saying. It's
not-
like, who's the professor? What's he gonna do? Sit you down and walk you through how to break up?
I'm moving on. Okay, so our next article is about a London dating app. This one,
This
We'll
is my favorite
translate.
thing that's ever happened.
I think this is nasty. Okay, so you are on a dating app. So say it's Bumble. I don't want to
my go-to dating app.
Yeah.
Okay.
course,
Shout out
the girls are
Bumble.
flying at you.
You don't Bumble?
No, I do Bumble.
No,
Bumble
he
is
loves
my,
it.
It's my go-to.
He likes Bumble.
You know why you Bumble?
Why?
Because the girls have to talk first. That's what.
Well, of course.
Called out. Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on. So say if you were dating all those girls on Bumble, but you're talking to
All of them.
Yes.
All of them.
All of the girls. But actually, this is a bad example because it's actually about the guys. They make those guys into miniature figurines. So it'd be like we made a Trace
no.
figurine.
Oh no.
And then instead of doing it online, I go to like the figurine dating store and then I can pick one out. So I'd be like, oh yeah, I do like Trace. Now seeing him, I'm like, yeah, he's about this. You like about that big though.
And it's like pretty lifelike. Like it looks.
Oh yeah,
real.
they look
I'll
a
show you the
lot
picture.
like them. They're 3D images. They look really
Oh
lifelike.
my god! Wow,
There's a
that's
chosen
crazy.
outfit.
That's really cool though.
And then you go in and then you pick the
I
dolls.
mean, I'm not gonna pick someone to date based off of a little
little doll.
Barbie, but like,
That's what it is, though.
And then you tell the people, and then they set you up
I
based
choose
off of
you.
after you seeing the figurine. I don't know even what to call them. The
Yeah,
miniature person.
they call it a 3D model,
But they do that.
but it's a little guy. It's like this high.
that's
So would you let yourself be put into a figurine store? You're you're freaking famous. You're gonna be put into a figurine store anyway. But like if it was this circumstance.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to see. I want a little version, like a small version of myself. I want to see it.
So this has nothing to do with dating. You just wanna,
I just
you basically want a bobblehead. That's what you want.
No, I think I would
we
try it.
figured it out.
But like, I think that's kind of worse. Like for the guys, like I feel like that would be pretty bad for like a guy to go in there and like size up like figurines of girls, like oh that one.
Yeah, they
That's
couldn't do it with
pretty
girls. I
terrible.
think that's why they did it. I think that's why they did
It's
it
why
with
it's
the guys.
opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think you don't for sure get to go on the date. I think the guy also has to pick you, but you can take the figurine home no matter what.
you know, I mean, this is like in theory is really cool, but also you can just like do it from home. It's like swipe right. And it's like the same process
Absolutely,
instead
but
of like
how do you know
showing
exactly
up.
what they look like as a like a
true.
5-inch figurine?
But they're never
true.
gonna. My thing is, they're never gonna be 5 inches. They're gonna be real.
It's a real person. You can't.
Yeah, they're not. You
We
can't
get
just
it.
make them a tiny thing.
It's
okay.
funny.
Would you do it?
Trina, of course
I
you
would go to the pop-up I would be the first one at the pop-up shop.
She got a whole
Just like-
basket full of them.
just like, where's my shopping cart? You guys don't supply shopping carts? Like, I'm busy. It would be so fun. All in these.
Take you and you.
Yeah. And
Buy one get one
sometimes
free.
you-
Okay.
I have,
Can I have a
like-
spare basket? Can I have a substitute basket?
And then you have like a dating shelf.
can't.
Just like place them on
I
it.
cannot.
I would do it. I would check it out.
You would do it, and you would probably be
If
in
it was
it as
opposite,
well.
you'd do it too.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
cool.
have to. It's
Well, you have to sign
so-
yourself up for it, and I would sign myself up to be picked
Absolutely.
up by like.
For the record, I would never do this.
This is
Really?
freaks
We have
me.
opposite-
This
Always,
freaks me
always.
out. I like real life people. Like to touch.
Yeah, I'm real. That's great.
Make sure you're all human.
I mean, it's hilarious.
That's a crazy. Also, I want to know the person that like came up with this idea. That's like, guys, hold on, I have this amazing
Because that's what
concept.
happens. Every time someone thinks of some genius idea, like these people
Like,
just
wait
have
for
enough
it.
passion to push it a little further.
we'll make the men miniature. Okay, wait. Tell them about the last one.
I actually want to quiz you.
Oh no. Okay.
This is just like Korean college. You will fail.
No,
I'm just
that
kidding.
was one
I'm kidding.
course.
So, there are all these new words for dating that I don't get.
Okay.
We know ghosting.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a lot.
Ghoster.
And this is these are technically in the London dating scene, but they're here too.
Okay.
Maybe not
London
so-
steals from us.
London's just like
Let's
smell
see.
dating. Let's all remember smell dating.
There's dates you could go on where you're smelling people. Don't do it.
That sounds like a terrible date.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
like
terrible.
The show started, our very first show, literally 28 episodes
Mm-hmm.
ago. We had the first article we did was smell dating. London had a smell speed dating, and you'd put bags over your heads, and you'd just smell people, and then you'd pick your matches.
people
that
like
way.
if you like the way they smell, like,
Like
wear
we're
a match.
in a room, we all have bags over our heads, we smell each other.
Nope.
It's a
That's my nightmare actually.
Yeah.
That's a terrible
sounds
idea.
You don't want to be
Terrible.
smelled, or
Absolutely.
you
not.
don't
I don't want
want
to smell. Well, either. No, thank
Oh,
you.
you don't want either.
No, no,
okay.
no.
Fine. Okay, ready? You can guess too. Do you know these?
What's that? No, I've already read. I like it
Okay,
better.
fine.
as
Okay,
Trace,
I'm
yeah.
I'm gonna fail this, but let's
Okay.
see.
No, he's not.
Stashing. Okay,
Stashing?
I saw you read.
No,
it,
no,
saw
I
you
didn't. I didn't
look.
read it.
Okay, stashing.
It's like if I had to guess, you're gonna like swipe right on a ton of people and then just hope that one or two people say yes, and
Whoa,
then you can build a
smart.
stash.
Do you
of
do that?
people.
Is that why you know that? You have a stash?
No, I would never do such a thing.
He just wrote a
You
lie.
don't.
Because he's a singer. He's not a liar. He's a singer.
You don't stash any girls.
Just like build a nice little stash. No, I would never.
Yeah,
I would never do that.
absolutely. You're right.
Everybody has a stash.
So
dude.
it's when you.
Oh, so I'm wrong. Okay.
You're wrong. You're wrong, but you've revealed some things that we love.
You answered right, okay?
It's when you hide the person you're dating from your friends and family. You stash them
Oh.
away.
Okay. I'm a stasher.
Do you think are you a stasher?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're a stasher.
You are.
Yes, very much so.
What would it take?
You look like you're thinking about your parents meeting your.
Yeah, no, just like I've said this since I was like in high school that like I will not bring someone home to meet my family until it's like I'm gonna put a ring on. Like it's gonna be
Why
like
is that?
Whoa.
because like the whole process of like I just like
Introducing?
and then like if you break up then like I'm like
Maybe
what happened?
you should go to Korean university.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't say that. I did not make
Sorry.
that man go to university.
That was me.
I think he's
I did
fine.
it. It was me. The slow fade.
Slow fade. It's when
It's
you
not what you think.
okay. So it's not when you respond like haha like sounds
Oh.
cool maybe someday we'll like let's
Okay,
lunch
actually,
like
you're right.
oh yeah like the slow
How
fade
come you
away.
assumed he didn't have the right answer?
I don't know. I just am terrible.
That's like
I've put him in Korean university. I've assumed I know his life. Leave it alone.
Such a weird
That's
makes
it.
sense. Slow fade.
Zombieing.
Oh god.
That was-
Zombieing, I'm a guess, is when you've been slow faded, but you're really trying to get the relationship to come back, and you're like bringing the relationship back from the dead.
Yes,
Yeah, good
absolutely.
one.
But it's after you've been ghosted.
Oh,
Get it,
okay.
ghost
It's
to zombie.
being really obnoxious. I'm like,
Right.
hey, hello, hey, want to get lunch? Hey,
Hey,
Yeah.
miss
oh,
you.
Hey, where you
You up?
I've
been?
been on 2 dates, but it's
You
fine.
up?
We matched in 2015. Who is this?
Oh God. You know what cuffing season is.
Coffee
I
season.
didn't know what that was, by the way.
One of the guys in Filharmonic was
Nobody
just saying
was
he had
asking.
never heard that phrase
I'd
before.
never
'Cause
heard
they're
that.
from LA.
I'm also from
There's no
Hawaii.
cold
We don't
months.
do any cuffing
Yeah,
in
she's
Hawaii.
from
Oh, you're from Hawaii?
LA.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I love Bruno.
Oh,
Sorry, I don't know why I like. I'm,
Do you guys know that Stephanie loves Bruno Mars?
I'm
Therefore,
embarrassed for myself.
It's great. It's,
never
if
been
there's
able
someone
to
to be
figure
obsessed
out
with.
her celebrity crush until Trace Gaynor comes on the show.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wait, you look like, oh that's who it
That's
is.
That's who I like.
That's what I
It's
like.
cute.
That's what I like.
Hey,
Oh.
hey.
See?
He was gonna sing, guys, but we're not gonna make him. Kitten fishing.
Never heard of it.
Kitten fishing?
It sounds rude, right? We
That
shouldn't
sounds-
put kittens in this.
Yeah, no.
Yeah?
It sounds like a little like for like youngins, like for like
Don't do that.
Ooh.
I don't know what kitten. I have no idea.
Okay.
Sounds kitschy, is what he's saying. It
It's
sounds.
when you use misleading photos from like years ago instead of like. So it's not a full catfish because it's you.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's from
just
when
like
you
a
were
ki- a light
14.
catfish.
You're like, oh, I was so skinny.
14.
14.
No problems.
Whatever.
That's
Well, kitten.
Yeah, I
You
can,
know?
I
What's
can
in
see that.
Trace, what's an appropriate amount of time? Okay, if you have an online dating account, I don't care which one it is. When should you update the photos? Like within a year? Like obviously it
No, I
sucks
think you
to
got,
even say
like-
being on a dating app for a year. Like
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
me. But like
Kill me.
I hate that expression, I just have to say it. But yeah, what would you think?
I mean, like 2 years. Like
I
if
think
if you haven't like changed significantly since
Yeah.
the picture, you have to like if you're like online dating, you're given so little information to begin with that like
Right.
the little information you are given has to be accurate. So like if you don't
Great point.
like haven't changed that much in 2 years, then like yeah, keep the picture that's
fine.
2 years old.
2 years though.
Yeah, but like
That's a long time.
I mean, I'm sure
You
like
looked
I would
different
hope
2 years
it's-
ago? Not that.
within
not
2
as-
years, I'd hope you'd find a new picture. You've taken a new picture. It's like, oh, this is worthy of being my first
I
like
haven't left
picture.
my room in 2 years.
yeah. Here's me in 2 years from 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I think within 2 years you can find a good picture. Like, but if there's like one picture from like a year ago, that's like a good picture. Like,
Yeah.
you can keep that.
Yeah.
I think definitely one makes the most sense.
Mhm.
1 year.
Okay.
I can respect that.
All right.
Just throw up a selfie that you took yesterday. Like, it's fine. Everything
fine.
will be fine.
I don't like the reoccurring changing of photos. It's like then you know they're up to something too. They're like two on the prowl and they're changing their
For
photo
sure.
every day.
Wait, do you guys know who the Try Guys are?
Yes.
So the Try Guy, do you watch them
Mhm.
avidly?
And I would, yeah, I've like seen 2 of the Try Guys in person. I was like, oh my god, that's a Try Guy. And then I like
What are
realized
the
I'm
Try-
like fangirling over like random people I've seen on the internet before. And
We did that with you.
Welcome to welcome to the
We invited
Filharmonic.
you on the show.
Yeah, exactly. Do you-
Who are the Try Guys?
First of all, did I tell you why he's here?
No.
I was on Twitter
You.
at a moment, and he goes, "Should I have a podcast?" And I was like, "No,
yeah,
you
Come hang out.
shouldn't.
I can be on ours.
Come on ours." And I
didn't
purposely
know that.
tagged someone that is friends with VJ.
Oh,
My friend
okay.
Ben,
Mhm.
shout out Ben Rose, he'll be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, to give me a little validity,
And it worked. It worked.
and it worked.
Yeah. I mean, I was responding anyway. I was like, yes, I
You
want.
didn't even look us up?
No, I looked you up and I listened to a podcast. I was like, this is it. I want to be on a podcast.
We're so
Fabulous.
We're so cool. Anyway, so the Try Guys did this episode, like, I don't know, maybe a month ago, about physical attractiveness. So they were doing all these scientific tests about which one is more physically attractive based on a lot of things. And they
Which
had,
Try Guy is most attractive?
Yeah, but based on, like, smell was one of them. I'll send you the link. Based on the see like the shapes in their faces and whatever. And then there was one
Who was
part
conducting this
about
test?
a bunch of different
Some
doctors.
Korean
I like
professor, I don't know.
There were doctors. There was a blood test. There was like a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, there was a woman from Tinder that was on there who has like a PhD. She loved to tell them she had a PhD, so she knew exactly what she was talking about.
I'm a doctor.
But
Yeah.
she has done all
Like,
this
I'm
Tinder
a doctor.
research.
I work at Tinder.
Exactly. So she works
I've
on
been there 2 years.
she like tore all of their profiles apart and was like, "You're not looking at the camera. minus 15% are gonna go for you." And I'm like, they're all very like decent looking young men.
Also, if you come across a try guy on Tinder, you're like, oh, that's try guy.
Yeah, you're like, try guy.
Try that.
You
Don't
look
even know
you
that
are
is, but I heard of
successful
it.
at BuzzFeed. This is perfect.
Try guy.
Right, be my boyfriend. So she just like tore them apart on their Tinder profiles, and I didn't think like if you're looking to the side, that's fine. Look at the next photo just to make sure. But like, there's a lot of stuff that she was tearing apart, and I just didn't find it. I don't find it to need to be that picky.
That's crazy that there's a doctor that knows that, like, how
I
to,
mean,
like,
that's what I mean. Who's fact checking this
This doctor.
doctor? Not that she's not a doctor, but you could be a doctor, but speaking
Very
on something that you did not
Right.
know and study.
She told them at the end, and I'll move on, that they were in the bottom 5% of any profile she's ever seen.
that's low.
I think she was trying to be mean. This sounds like a bully. Who is this?
So
So I'll make
it's
sure I
like,
don't cross
yeah, she's
paths with
a-
her.
But I mean, at the same
Ever.
time, like, someone that's hot is someone that's hot. So, like, whether or not you're looking at the
Yeah.
camera or not looking at the camera, like, if
If
you're
your
attractive,
profile-
like,
that's what profiles are for.
Yeah.
Like
One
your
of-
side profile.
One of my friends works at Raya. She says she usually always says it's usually the person looks like their ugliest photo, but uglier in real life. That's what she said.
what?
Like that. So
Said
like
that
when
to
you,
a person?
well, she said that that's what people have.
Oh,
It's
on
like on their
Raya.
pictures.
Oh, okay.
Whatever their ugliest picture is, they look like that, but a little bit uglier.
Have you tried to be on Raya?
No, I don't even. What is
Why don't
Raya?
you try?
What is Raya?
No, he doesn't need to try. He could definitely
you could
be
apply
on
and make it
Raya.
on Raya.
What is it?
It's like the dating app for like very high profile people.
That's like the most pretentious thing I've
It
You're
is-
more. I got.
it is-
I got invited to the league the other day, and I was like, I made it.
I did it.
She made it.
I will say this: it's just one more thing for you to go down a deep dark hole
Yeah.
at like 1
You know what?
a.m. when you're
Okay.
like
You're
awake
gonna do it, right?
but
Yeah,
asleep.
I'm gonna look it up.
Perfect.
I'm gonna try it.
Because you're gonna be dating Lindsay Lohan in no time.
Perfect. That's what
That's
I've
what you
always.
wanted.
La, la, la,
That's
la.
what we
12-year-old
thought.
Trace is so excited. That's all I've wanted.
Okay, we have a few more.
Okay.
Actually, one more, and it's my favorite one: breadcrumbing.
Oh.
Oh.
Breadcrumbing. I have.
Have you heard? You've heard of it? No. Oh, you
I
read
read
it.
this article.
Oh, okay.
yeah, sorry.
Breadcrumbing. Ooh, I have no idea. My guess would be mean. I have no idea.
No, just guess. Just
Yeah,
I
guess.
have no
Definitely
idea.
guess.
Is it like eating and like I have no idea. I have no
Keep
idea.
going.
Nope.
No,
mm.
you have an idea because you said eating and buh.
No. I changed my mind. That idea didn't make no sense.
No eating and buh.
In bed. No, I'm out.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
out.
So it's leading a date on by
gosh, I love
contacting
you.
them intermittently and just to keep them interested. And then you just like their Instagram post, but you never
Oh.
ask them to hang. So you're like sprinkling yourself on them, like
Just like
breadcrumbing.
you're like playing hard to get, but like I'm interested, but like I've never
Yeah.
seen you in person.
The most insane thing is the Instagram likes.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you don't text me back, but you've just liked my Instagram. I hate you forever.
Yeah, this sounds very this
This
well
is
by the way.
personal.
This is a way. I don't think you could breadcrumb once you've like. That's like a way to introduce yourself, not on like a social media app. But like if you come across someone that like oh they're hot, but like I didn't get a chance to like talk to them, and you like a few pictures of Instagram, and then you
Yeah.
slide to the DM. Like breadcrumbing is like a nice like first step, and then after that you can't breadcrumb anymore.
Yeah, you can't. You
You
could.
can't breadcrumb.
You could breadcrumb in the beginning,
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
because you're like, oh, I'm not trying to know if I'm trying to do all that, but I still want to show a little interest in case they are interested.
Yeah.
And then,
It's like it's the equivalent of like checking out someone from across the bar, but like
Totally.
online,
and then
which
you,
I
like,
am guilty of.
You wink, and then but you like don't get their number, but you're like, we'll meet again.
Yeah, it's like the new.
That's what I think.
It's a new Facebook poke.
Winks.
I'm
And
a
then
creepy
just-
winker.
I'm
It's
so
a
bad
new
at
face.
it.
It's like it.
You're
okay.
bad at winking?
Yes, I'm terrible at
Go
winking.
to the camera.
The Nope. Mm-mm. I've
Wait,
tried
do
this.
it ag-
I've practiced.
Do it one more
before.
time. Let's see it.
No, I closed both
Wow.
eyes.
Whoa, yours was
You
like
never
a.
wink on stage?
No, I'm so bad at it. I'm very self-aware of how bad I am at
But
winking.
you're a very like you. That's
Yeah, you
not
don't
in
need
your
to
own
wink.
personal
You
swag.
don't need to wink.
That
It's
all goes away the second I try to wink.
You're like, yeah.
Just
I don't know
blink.
where that neck tilt went, but I like it.
fine. Wait, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
We're done with this article, and then we can move on to other things. But I watched a YouTube video
Okay.
of you guys performing live.
Oh no.
Were you in the front? Were you in the front row?
I
Trina?
was in the front row.
Yeah, also
the
I filmed
Instagram
it.
video was my video.
Trina was
No.
present.
Of you, and you bring a girl on stage.
Oh, okay.
Cute.
I know
And
what's
then
on
you
this.
guys like magic mic on her.
Yes, we do.
How's that?
It's
Who
fun.
makes you?
Well, the group decided this is what we needed to do. We needed like a fun, interactive moment on stage. So, the first part of our show is like very like party and we're dancing, and we take like a beatboxing intermission thing. And the second half, we're like, we need to like change the vibe. We're gonna go for like interact, and like we were like, first let's do like coffee house, and so we do like we sit down from some songs and like let's like get people involved, and like so we should bring someone on stage, and then it's like slowly turned into this like and then bring them on stage, and then we're gonna sing to them, and then Trace is going to dance on them, and then it turns into Magic Mike.
And then it's like,
and then it was like we are straight up twerking on this person on stage.
Is it always not at high school?
Oh yeah, I mean.
Will they perform at high school?
We perform at high schools, but
I just want to make sure.
When we're at high schools, we make sure to cut that song. We don't sing that song. But it like before the show starts, like I set limitations with the person that is like Nico, our beatboxer, picks the person, and I'm like, hey, by the way, my friends in the audience, you can't pick her. Also, there's a bunch of like 10-year-olds in the audience, definitely can't pick them. And so like there's some limitations, and like if it's like a family show, we'll like pick someone that's like a little older, and like we'll get beyond the joke, and we're like it's like with a mom and it's funny, but like if it's a college, like oh, pick the hot girl in the front row. Like it's like it's like we have some like idea of what we're getting into.
Please pick the hot girl in the front row, because otherwise
what a fun. You would pick the hot girl in the front row, and then she'd probably she would probably be in love with you, and then you'd probably breadcrumb
You'd
her.
breadcrumb
her. I just go like her pictures later.
Like, so pretty, but I'm not gonna
like,
text you
oh,
back.
it's so great. We matched.
Slide into the
Bye.
DMs, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cute.
Oh, that's what you would do. Learning a lot
But
about
the
Trace
breadcrumbing,
Gaynor.
I feel like, is the most actual real. That's what people do when they're dating.
Oh, yeah.
They are like, ooh, I'm not sure about this. I definitely want to wait for a better offer. You're a nice one. But like, I know there's other things, but like, still, I want you around in case like I'm really bored and want to go to the movie.
Well, it's like it's the equivalent of the Facebook poke. So like now it's just like, by the way, I did look at you, and like, hey, like if you want to like pictures back, I will follow you, and then we can chat.
Breadcrumbing is the new Facebook poke. Dang, a Facebook.
This is millennial dating
poke?
at its.
Is there still a poke?
I don't know. I don't play
so.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
I got poked. No, there's still a poke.
Is there?
I got poked one time recently.
Okay. Steph is the guys send her dick pics a lot.
Oh,
I get everything creepy.
She gets everything
like,
creepy.
why?
Does that
me?
ever work? I'm just confused.
Does it work? I do not know these people. Like,
I
how
know,
did
that's
they
what I'm
find
saying,
me? I'm like, excuse me, like, and
like
then
a few pictures on Instagram. I don't even see that
I don't
yet.
understand. Like,
That's the
I got
best
a
part
DM
is
the other
that she
day. It was
doesn't know
like,
them.
hello. I was like, hello? Question mark? Like, I thought I just been in a conference. I thought it was someone I met.
Yeah.
And then immediately I was like, no, we don't know each other.
Yeah.
You know, I know you get that. I know you get interesting.
How often do you answer our DMs?
Actually, a lot more often recently. Just like I've been like checking them a lot more often. But before I was very turned off to checking DMs and Facebook messages for a long time, just because of the weird messages.
Scary
you
in
would
there.
get.
Yeah.
It's scary. Don't be creepy. Come on, people. Listen,
Yeah,
this is
don't be
important.
creepy.
Yeah.
Don't be creepy.
No.
Don't
Like,
be weird.
There's a way to be
normal.
subtle, especially online. Like it's creepy enough to start off, and then like just like a word of advice. Like if you are ever trying to like approach someone, like anyone in Filharmonic or like anyone in general that like you want to like you're like actually interested in talking to, but like you saw it like a show, don't start with, hey, I just came from your show, it was really good. Like that's an immediate like, no thank you.
Yeah.
So you're not a fan dater.
No. Mm-mm.
That's a great that says a lot about you.
Yeah.
We know a lot of fan daters.
On that, I would never like
We
I know a lot of fan daters.
on Bumble
daters.
or on Tinder. If you start with, aren't you from Filharmonic, I will immediately unmatch you.
Yeah.
But why would you say that? Wouldn't you just lie?
Yeah, I mean, and that's happened as well before, where people will lie. And will,
Okay, so
And then you
also
find your pictures under their bed or something.
yeah,
Rule
yeah,
number
bump the
2.
bed.
Sorry.
rule number 2, don't lie.
Yeah, don't
That's
lie.
even creepier.
All right. So let's move on.
I don't know, I was giving rules. I just felt like
Stephanie's
it was
giving
rules
rules,
for
so.
Trace.
That's like general rules, I think. That's like pretty like just
Yeah,
like
that's
have
like life.
general
It's
general
an
awareness.
obvious.
This is like the
No, it's
extra
not
chapter
obvious.
in
Oh,
that
sorry.
Korean class that like if you happen to come across someone that like you would know from outside of the dating app, don't
You
tell them
just
that.
act
Maybe you
normal.
should teach the Korean
let-
class.
The most single person. Let me tell you about it.
Like, want to get a date? Ask Trace.
Yeah.
We'll teach you. Okay, so we have listeners that send in things about their dating lives to us just because they want us to know.
Okay.
Um,
I want to tell somebody.
and some questions. So we're
Okay.
going to hop into one.
Yeah.
Want to do mine first?
Let's do it.
I'm going to read this word for word. I don't believe this one. I'm going to start with that. Okay.
Read it.
I listened to your episode about dating in the park with my boyfriend. We had this episode where one of our guests, Edgar, what up, Edgar, taught us about this park in China where your parents bring your resumes to it and then they match you up.
Oh, okay.
Still happening.
A few weeks after watching it, I found out that he started going to the dog part to intentionally hit on girls to see if there was anyone better for him than I am. I found out because he was hitting on a girl I knew that he'd never met through me. and she recognized him from my Instagram. I wanted you to know this for 2 reasons. 1, you really are influencers. 2, I should have paid closer attention to the episode that one of you said, once a fuckboy, always a fuckboy.
That was Trina that said that.
Because I say it every day.
I don't say the F word. Wait. What?
That's crazy. That's
So,
end that.
the only reason why I don't believe it is because it seems too... First of all, don't blame us.
Well, how dare you?
Because
all,
we
why
didn't
you
do
gotta
that.
drag us
We
into
didn't
this?
do that. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We didn't do that.
Yeah, that's
That's what I'm going to say. Second, I'm sorry that happened.
yeah, that's a crazy story. You need to
Wait,
end.
Trace, do you think that's like, are you surprised by that? Like to hear a guy leaving and finding a little, whatever it's
That's like a
park?
soft burn. That's what is it? Soft fade.
Slow fade.
That's
Slow
a slow
fade.
fade. That's
Slow
a slow
fade.
fade.
But it's your
like
boyfriend.
the worst kind. Like you can't do that kind of slow fade.
No,
that's your boyfriend.
That's your boyfriend.
Also, she found out the wrong way too. Like that's
through
See,
a,
that's
that's even more, that's,
yeah.
it's not about ego, but that is humiliating.
That's
If
a
someone
good
else
friend,
comes to
though.
you.
That's
What?
a good friend.
That-
We found out she has a good friend.
That is a good friend.
Oh, you don't care about good friends. Okay.
I mean, I love good friends, but I just don't.
That's not a
icky.
takeaway. Okay.
Also, the friend that told her should have also like that needs to like not happen anymore either. So like, was she seeing this guy that she found on the dog
Yeah.
park too?
No,
She hung out with him. She went out with
it
him.
just says that she
Oh, okay.
told her.
Okay.
Oh,
about
okay.
that
Okay,
she
then
got
that is a
it.
good friend.
Yeah,
too.
it's a good
That's
a good
different.
friend.
That's different. You a good friend.
I think this is very strange.
However-
I want to know if the guy had a dog. Or
Yeah, I was to say I will go to this park though.
Yeah. Where is this
park
park?
works.
Yeah,
I don't know where this person's from. They didn't sign the city.
Is this dog park in LA?
probably.
If so,
Actually,
Went up
probably.
on,
I don't have a dog, but I will go.
I've been there. There's some
Yeah, we'll just go
hotties up
pet
in
some
there.
dogs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dogs.
That's the best place to find someone with a dog. That's
I
why
think
people
that-
get dogs, honestly.
Don't you think? I mean, I don't know. Don't you think it's the worst thing though if you are in a relationship and then also now you're find out this way that your boyfriend is? I don't like it.
Yeah, that's really sad.
It's awful.
I'm sorry.
It's sad. We're sorry. We don't have much to say other than we're sorry. And
I do believe you though.
I believe you too. I don't know why like
Trace
Trina
and Stephanie
doesn't believe
agree
you.
to believe you. I don't
Trina.
believe you, but I'm sorry if it's
Question the
real.
validity. But
Also,
And-
no, like I will say this, Trina, if the person was lying, like that would be a really weird thing to lie about.
You're
Yeah.
right.
create
I
this
just
really weird
feel-
story.
Not that it's so
You're right.
terrible that
I
everyone
just
hasn't
not
had
there.
that happen to them, but everyone hasn't had that happen to them. They wouldn't lie. Okay, I have a good one. It's a guy. So this is about a first date.
Mhm.
So I went on. This is a guy talking. I went on a date with this girl after meeting her on Bumble. She was beautiful. When she was walking up to me, she introduced herself, and I noticed that she had fangs. That's right. I said
Like
fangs.
teeth, like the
Like
okay.
fangs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask her about them right away because I was trying to be a gentleman. During our first drink, she brought up that she was part of a vampire troupe.
Nope.
Thanks.
Check please.
I know troop isn't the
Yeah,
right word,
troupe's
but I
not
don't
right.
remember what she said. I actually blacked out while she was talking, and then when she removed her fangs when the food came, and so she removed the fangs.
Mm-hmm.
I just stared at them the rest of the time. So she takes out the fangs. The fangs are now on the bar top. He is looking at the fangs. She's eating hamburger. Maybe she's eating salad. I don't know.
Hamburger.
She was nice, but I was so confused that I didn't hit her up again.
Good call.
Great call.
Yes.
When I told my female friends the story, they all said I was a dick.
No,
I disagree. Who's right?
I
You're
disagree.
right.
If you are going to show up with fangs, and that's gonna be one of the first things you talk about on the date, that needed to be like disclosed beforehand.
It's truly the whole
Explicitly
party of
clear.
Yeah,
If you're in a vampire, we'll call it. I don't know what to call it.
like that's like a later down the line sort of thing. A few months and like, oh, by the way.
By the way, I sometime wear these. How
Yeah.
do you feel about?
But maybe she thinks she is like she's a vampire.
but
Also needed to come out way before then.
And does she drink blood?
Bye.
if it was,
Goodbye.
if this was Bumble,
Human blood.
were the fangs? So the only thing I would think is maybe
Were the fangs in the
his
photo?
fault were the fangs in the photo.
Maybe he thought she was like dressed up.
If she like smiled with no teeth, like
If she was like,
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't he say that?
did she smile with no teeth? If
Oh no.
she's misleading.
no, she was
That's-
beautiful. So
And
it
then
sounds like she
walking
was
up, so
pretty.
she wasn't like smiling, but then he.
And then she had some
The fangs.
fangs. I just think the fangs on the table is weird. That's like taking a retainer out and putting it down and
Exactly.
being like,
or like your grandma's teeth or
and
something.
then being like,
Yeah.
want to make out, and then you put.
Well, hold on, let me take my teeth out. Yeah, that's like 2 layers of like too much.
too
like
much.
like first of all, don't show up with them. Second of all, don't take them out. Like that's just
Don't take them out.
Whoa.
I think Also, let's be real. That's also living into like a larger conversation of like what kind of sex stuff is
Yeah,
this?
what's she into,
Is
and-
this?
She's gonna drink
Which
your
is
blood.
fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think it's
like
very
that's-
clear.
Live your life, but
She's gonna bite you and drink your
if
blood.
this is a thing that need to come out on the first date, then that's like a.
It's
that's
probably
a red flag.
good though that it happened right away.
I want to know where the vampire troop is. Like, how did they meet? Online.
I love
Everything
that they're
online.
A troop,
How do you find other
like
vampires?
improvisers.
There's got to be like a website like I like vampire. If you put in I like vampires into Google, or like meet other, like a meetup for vampires.
VampireMeetup.com.
There's for sure a vampire meetup.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is. I mean, I talked about like my nightmare. That is my nightmare. That actually is.
That for sure. You
like
wouldn't date
the
a
vampire troop. No. Nope.
I wouldn't.
I'm a
either.
pretty queasy
Okay,
person.
so like
not gonna
what?
do it.
Okay,
What do you mean by
we.
queasy?
Just like blood, no thank you.
Oh,
I'll pass.
really?
I'll
Drink your blood.
pass. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or like look at it.
But
you
yeah,
like
just not trying
Twilight?
to do it.
Oh, absolutely not.
Wow.
When I was in high school, this is like really random story. I like went into like go see a movie with some of my friends and accidentally walked into the wrong theater and saw like a scene from Twilight and immediately just left the theater, bought a ticket. Just like I am not in the mood to see another movie.
Wow.
Okay.
You're like, no, thank
so
you.
you
No.
really don't.
You
like
don't
I
like
really
it.
don't
There's
like
It's
nothing
actually a
that connects you
nightmare.
to vampires.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
That
So
makes
that's my hell.
interesting.
Okay,
that
that
is my
makes
living
sense.
nightmare.
How, we literally brought in your hell into
Yeah.
this conversation.
I'm
with the
Glad you
vampires.
know.
Yeah. Not vampires specifically, but definitely like blood is like not a couldn't do it. So this girl.
The two go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Listener, if you're listening, sorry. Like whatever chance you thought you had with Trace, it's not gonna happen.
Dear
it's much better for me.
vampires, Trace doesn't date you.
Mm-mm.
Okay, wait. So I don't want to do the vampires anymore because I don't want to freak you out.
Yeah, we're done with
But
that.
what do you like?
So
Just
what do
the most
Seriously.
awkward. What of all the things?
of all, what do you mean? Like that's a very open question.
Like, okay, like if like we had a non-negotiable one time. It was like I said if
Oh yeah.
a person didn't like Harry Potter, like I really like Harry Potter
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and that's something I do
too.
in my downtime or like my what people call their Netflix time. I do
Yeah.
It's
that.
like, what read and watch Harry Potter.
Yeah, and I dated a guy before who wasn't into that. Like,
Mhm.
would there ever be a thing like if a girl did something besides the vampire, you'd
Yeah,
be
find
like,
the blood thing.
yeah. I guess it's easier to say what you're not into than say what
Than
you're
what
into
you
because
are. Yeah.
when you're into something, you just can know because you're looking. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
that.
that.
Yeah.
That's a hard question. I don't know. That's
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I
We
only
don't
the only
either.
one.
We don't,
Well, we've been doing this for how long? I've been alive for however long, and I still don't really know what.
Yeah, it's hard to pin it down. You know what you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know all the things you don't want. You meet people and you're like, that's not a thing.
yeah. I mean, I tend to be attracted to like also like feeling like ambitious people. Like I like
Ooh,
hearing
yeah.
about like what other people are like trying to do in their lives too, and
Yeah.
like have other things besides like trying to be dating and like oh yeah, like I want to find someone that's like we're like in it together to like do cool things, but like not I don't know, not like that like have cool things going on as well.
A partnership that's escalating both sides.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
yeah. Have you ever had this happen where you're dating someone, you go on like a couple dates with someone, but then you realize that their priority is just
the MRS degree. Not yet. I have not been on one.
oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can tell like pretty early on, like
oh, totally.
like what if they're like talking about like certain thing. I don't know. You can tell
Yeah.
pretty early on.
Yeah.
I haven't had the like clingy thing yet, but
Do you think that would be something that would just be like a deal breaker? Like, I can't.
maybe it hasn't happened yet, but I
Okay.
can see it being a deal
We'll see.
breaker. Yeah.
Well, any final? This is your time. If you have a fun personal share stories like this man, the
Ooh.
vampire man,
Fun.
or
Good
perhaps
date,
the dog park
bad
girl,
date.
or whatever, or if you have some advice for the listeners, they're clear. We are all in need. Truly. If you have advice,
Yeah, we just talked about dating apps the whole time, so like
We're like Bumble, Raya.
let's be clear.
Tinder?
Steffi and I are very unqualified to be talking about relationships.
I remember
This is
like giving
not-
it not relationship advice, but like talking about like relationship problems in like college with my friends and stuff, and being like, I have no experience to like being telling you any otherwise, but this is what I would do.
Yeah, but I would have done.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, what?
My advice would just be like, don't like rush into it. Don't like be like too worried about finding anything. Like something will come
Aw,
along
that's
at some
great
point. Like, don't like be. I'm seeing a lot of people, especially like I've like that are like I'm trying to get married by like 25, and then I'm gonna have
Oh,
kids by
yeah,
27, and then I'm gonna have this,
totally.
and it's like that's not how it works anymore. So
No.
like just relax. Like I'm very single, but like I'm not concerned about it. Like it's
Yeah.
like it'll happen soon.
Well, that's the hard thing with dating apps too. It makes everything so urgent,
Yeah.
kind of, because it's all right there.
Yeah.
And then if it's not happening, you kind of lose your mind.
Yeah. And if someone stops responding, like, oh, well, I'll just start swiping again. And it's like it removes that whole like person to person aspect of
Yeah.
it. That like it's an actual person that's typing. But so, I mean, that's why I'm in the mentality like whatever. When someone that will want to respond or like someone that I want to like be like connected with will come along and I'm not worried about it.
That is so.
That's inspirational. I'm not being.
Ain't no
dick.
timeline.
That's
Ain't
inspirational.
no time, but it's true though. There ain't no
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah.
Why are you tripping?
You're not tripping.
Am I tripping?
No.
Trace is like, I don't know what the right answer is.
No, I don't.
No, I
Whatever.
said you're not.
If you're tripping, you don't even.
Trina's saying
a
to me
statement.
like, by the way, with this face, like, you're not. I believe you.
It's all
Thank
cool.
you.
You're not
I
tripping.
think that is very excellent advice, Trace. I'm
That
gonna
was
take
it.
a little bit of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take all of it.
I'm gonna take part of it, and I'm gonna tell any of my single girl friends that are watching that are fangirls of you that do have crushes on you. That if they
To,
are
like, go like a
ever-
few pictures
if they
on Instagram.
if
Like,
they do match with you on
breadcrumb it,
Bumble,
yeah.
to not mention. Don't mention being a fan. Just
Or
be
the
normal
Filharmonic,
and
yeah.
like build a relationship. It's okay to admire someone.
Yeah.
A lot of people are admired from
admiration's
afar.
a different thing.
That's beautiful. And then you can
Or is
be
it
a.
not?
No, it's cool. Just
That could happen. You could have admired someone else. I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't think of an example right now besides Trace being.
don't talk
famous.
about
Just being-
work things like.
Yeah,
in
work things is
Facebook
not
Yeah,
message,
you are not your job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. That's good advice. I'm
I
not
don't know where
your
that
job.
came from. Like
You are
where's
not
that-
your job.
I'm watching like
Everything's been solved. All right. Well, that's it for us.
conversation.
Trace, you're the best.
Thanks.
Thank you
You're
so
the
much
best.
for coming.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Come back whenever you want to. Guys, we'll link
Definitely.
up to all of his
all your social,
stuff.
all of your everything. Don't forget what we told you about. If you match with them online, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
There's
Be
anything you
normal.
take
Be
away.
normal. Please be normal.
We are trying to help you. The man is single.
Be normal.
Exactly.
Tagline of today.
Like,
Please
be
be
normal. Be
normal.
cool.
Don't be weird.
That's it. We'll see you guys next time on.
Come clean.
Yay!
Got me spinning around, turning upside down. I'm gonna turn it around now. Check it out now. Now he bout to. No, she bout to. Now y'all bout to. Come clean, yeah. Come on, gather around. We're gonna lay it on down.